Hey guys, it's me, Adam Etheridge, again, here at I Just Make Games Now. I wanted to thank you for tuning in and watching this video. And basically, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so what I want to do with this channel is I want to have a regular show where I teach you how to make video games, especially in UEFN, the Fortnite Unreal Engine editor. Because it's very easy, for one thing. I use it as a prototyping system for making video games. And what I mean by that is I'm going to make a lot of video games in Fortnite, in Unreal Engine editor for Fortnite. And then if I have a game that is wildly successful or that really catches my fancy and really expresses everything I envisioned and wanted to do when I first set out to make the game, then I will end up making that game again or remaking it in just Unreal Engine and selling it as a standalone game in the Epic storefront outside of Fortnite. But in the meantime, I'm going to be making lots and lots of Fortnite games, lots and lots of games in the UEFN, and I hope you will play them, because that is going to be the determining factor. That's going to be how I know what games I should really put a lot of work into and not. So it's going to be a lot of prototyping in Fortnite for me. And the reason I'm telling you this, I'm sorry, I'm back. I had to situate the cat. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you this is because I have now released my first big game, Fog, in the Fortnite universe, and it's getting to the point where it's just about done, and I've had a blast making it. But now I need to focus on bringing in players, and so that's why I'm telling you this. I need beta testers. I need people who will come with me into the game world and run through the game with me and try to help me discover places where I've gone wrong, things that need to be fixed. If you have any suggestions about what would make the game better, pipe up and let me know. This is where you'll be wanting to go get your friends and tell them, hey, come play this video game with me. My friend Adam made it. And so you and your friends will go into Fog, and then you'll show them the things that you've learned, and they'll think that you're super cool and a great player and super smart for having discovered all these Easter eggs and secret passages and things like that. So anyway, I do need beta testers. I do need my friends to jump into the game and help me improve it. Just help me improve it. Just play the game. Get good at the game and make suggestions to me. What features would you like to see in the game? What kind of a game do you really in your heart's desire really want to play? I know not everybody makes video games, but this is your chance to where you have a game developer, me, where you can say, hey, listen, I have always wanted to play a game like this, and just tell me. And I very well might just put that into my video game. And then you'll get your chance to play that. And then make suggestions about how to make it better. And then I'll come back and make it better. And then you'll try it and say, oh, this is pretty good. Oh, hey, what if it could do this? And then I'll say, okay, great. And I'll go away and work on that for a while. And then I'll come back and I'll say, all right, what do you think? Try it. So this is your chance to be James Bond dealing with Q. And you're in Q's laboratory, and Q says, enough of that, Bond. Now step over here and look at this car that I built for you. And then you make some smart alecky remark, and Q looks at you and says, there's no time for your teenage hijinks here, Mr. Bond. I'm having a serious day, and I have serious weapons and prototypes for you to try out. No dilly-dallying, or whatever. Forgive me for my horrible British accent. Anyway, I'm mostly Irish, so it's my chance to make fun of the ladies. So, please play my game. I'm playing my game a lot now. I'm jumping in there and just grabbing all of my friends that I can get to join me in the game. And then, I say, okay, look, I'm going to show you the Easter eggs. I'm going to show you all the little tricks. I'm going to show you all the little secret places that nobody else seems to be able to find, but that will allow you to go on to the next level. So follow me and don't fall behind. And, and I've been doing that a couple times, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because once people get into it and start finding out, oh, you go this way, and that's how you find the rift to the next level, then they really get into it. Then they really stop just kind of goofing around, killing random zombies and stuff like that, and instead their play is much more focused and much more about, okay, all right, get me into the next level. Let me run down the corridor and hide behind this corner here and wait for the robot guards to come, and then I'll pick them off one by one, But a lot of times until they figure out how to get there, they're just kind of like, okay, what do I do now, So anyway, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I need help. I need help. I need help from my audience. I need help from you, the video game playing public. When I first started making games, I would tell people online on YouTube, hey, I'm going to make a video game. And I had so many people just pop up all of a sudden in comments going, hey, if you make a video game, I want to play it. And now, months later now, I can come to you and say, hey, I have made a video game and I need people to play it. So I want you to come and play my video game. Look at the poster on the screen. That's a poster from my game, Fog. And the number on the top is the island code. And so what you do on Fortnite is you go to Fortnite and you go to the catalog where it's got all the different games that are made by all the different people like me who are game developers. Now what you can do is you can do a search. You go to the top of the screen where it has a little magnifying glass and you click on that. And then what you do is you type in that number that's at the top of the poster over Fog. Just type in that number, or you can even just type in FOG, Fog, and it should pull up my game. And then you just click on that game on the poster and it'll take you right to it. And then you go in and play my game for free. I tell you what, when I was a kid, if we had games like this where we could just play them for free, oh, you would never have been able to get me out of the house, ever. Well, it was hard to get me out of the house when I was a kid because I was always playing video games, but the video games that we played were definitely nowhere near as advanced or pretty or cool. It was really simple stuff like Asteroids, where you're just in a spaceship breaking rocks all day. That was our idea of cool video games when I was a kid. I know that sounds really, really sad. But it's true. The video games you guys have now are just amazing. Fortnite is an amazing game. My game, Fog, is the kind of game where when I was a kid, I would never have been able to dream I could make a video game like this, or that I would be able to play it or anything. And I've put a lot of hard work into making this game. So please help me out. Please play my game. See, the thing is, before I was making video games, I was making animation. I was making animated short films. And I made an animated short film called Great Plains of World War III, which was about World War III. And it was about politicians and about, an idiot who becomes president and then starts World War III. And I made this movie 4 years ago. And it took me 3 months to make it. I had to do a lot of hard work to make this. It's really hard to make animated films. And so I took a lot of time working on it, and it took a lot of hard work to make this movie. And then I posted on YouTube, and you know what happened? I had 300 people that watched it. Like, my doctor watched it, and she said, oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen, because it was a comedy. And that was nice and all, but she was one of the only people that watched it. It didn't get millions of views. It didn't get, a lot of people watching. And now the funny thing is, all these years later, everything that I was talking about in my movie, even though it was a comedy, is what we're dealing with now in politics. We're on the verge of a civil war, and everything that I even addressed the fact that we'd be on the verge of a civil war in that movie, and only 300 people watched it. And yet everything that we're dealing with now in politics is what that movie was about. And back then, 4 years ago, everybody thought I was just making comedy. And people were like, oh, that's so funny. Or they would even tell me, you're crazy. That could never happen. And now everything that was in my movie is what's happening now. So I gave up on YouTube, and I gave up on making movies. And I said, if I'm going to spend all this time and work making something, and then only a couple of hundred people are going to watch it, and I'm not even going to get paid a dime to make this movie, I worked harder on this than I've ever worked at any job in my life. You know, and I gave up, and I just started delivering food. I delivered food for 3 years straight during the pandemic, just because people would pay me to bring them McDonald's. But they wouldn't pay me to make a movie that was about one of the most important things in the world. Even though I showed talent and made people laugh and wrote a good screenplay and did a lot of really hard work making the characters talk and walk and building sets and just all the work that goes into making a movie. Even though I did all of that, even though I didn't sleep, even though I worked on this movie night and day and didn't do anything else, I didn't get paid a dime. So I don't want that to happen again. I want to make a whole bunch of video games. I want to be a successful video game developer. One day, I want young kids to see one of my video game posters and say, hey, that's a game made by Adam Etheridge. We got to play that game. Adam Etheridge is the man. Adam Etheridge makes the best video games in the whole world. His games are so cool. They're so much fun. We got to tell all of our friends we got to play this video game together. Okay, because that's what I want, and I want you to want to play my games. And I want to make great games for you guys that will challenge you and make you laugh and just blow your minds and be the very best video games you've ever played. But you got to help me out. You got to be there for me. You got to play the games. You got to play my games. Otherwise, I'm just going to give up again, like I did when I was making movies. I just gave up because I didn't see any point. I didn't have any hope. To do something hard, you have to have hope. And I had no hope. Making video games is hard. It's just like making animated films. There's a lot of the same skills and talents and things that go into making video games that you have to use when you're making animated movies. There's a lot of skill overlap. The difference is that kids don't care about movies anymore. They did when I was a kid. We had E.T. and we had Raiders of the Lost Ark and we had Star Wars, and that was the biggest thing in the world. But that's because for us, toys and playing was we would go outside and beat each other over the head with sticks and throw dirt clods at each other. That was playing when I was a kid. Now playing is you run around in Fortnite online with your friends and you shoot each other. And it's a beautiful game world, and it just looks amazing. You guys have it so good. You have such advanced games that you can play for free. You don't even have to leave the house. I'm sure your parents hate that. I'm sure your parents are always like, when I was a kid, my parents always made me go outside and play. And then you say, well, when you was a kid, you had a pet dinosaur you used to ride to work and school and, and whatever. Yeah, tell your parents that, and they'd fall over and die laughing. Anyway, look at the poster on the screen. You see the number on the top. Go to Fortnite. Hit the search. Hit the little magnifying glass icon. Type in FOG, F-O-G, or type in the number on top of the poster and play my game. Help me make my game better, please. And then send this video to your friends and get them to watch it and get them to be beta testers. Let's make this game a success. Join my army. I want you to be my Marine Corps squad. This game is about the Colonial Space Marines, and so I want you guys to be my platoon of Colonial Space Marines running through the jungles on another planet, shooting lots and lots and lots of zombies with a money gun. Subscribe to my channel, play my game. And in return, I'm going to be teaching you how to make your own video game soon. Okay? All you got to do is tune in and keep watching this channel. Subscribe. Send my videos to your friends and say, you got to watch this. We could be making video games. I'm going to teach you how.